Hey everybody, Kyle here with Spicer Designs. That's a nice machine right there. Welcome back to the channel. Well, fall is upon us, hence the hoodie. A little bit cooler out there today, 58 degrees. I mean, that's not bad. Probably kind of a satchel for wearing one, honestly. So this is it. This is the new machine hoodies, Spicer Design, whatever you want to call it. I have the flag now going in the right direction. I got a lot of comments on that. I was unaware. The stars are supposed to be leading, as if you're leading into battle and not retreating. Makes sense. So that is fixed now. I also have a new version of the machine logo, which you may have seen in the video I just posted on the Tumblr for Lone Star Hawaiian. And I incorporated a set of tracks into it, so it looks like a machine. That's really not what today's video is about. We're gonna be doing some things for these before I can sell them. This is a rushed video, by the way. All right, some really cool stuff to show you right now. Here it is. Some new equipment sent from XTool. This is going to be some flagship products that they are releasing basically today, hopefully the 21st. And these are some serious upgrades to the air purification and ventilation with the XTool lasers. But in my situation, I actually plan on using these in the whole shop, whether it's with welding or with my CNC plasma table. So before we get into this, I want to talk about what the original plan was here in the shop very quick. All right, so this shop is 36 by 40 with 14-foot tall ceilings. It's not huge, but it's not small. It's really perfect for what my needs are. So this here is the second bay of the shop. And this is where I plan on putting all of my machinery. I would say that the lasers are gonna stay pretty much the way they are. I think I have that set up fairly decent now. The plan is to get the larger Langmuir CNC plasma table, the XR, and the XR is a 4-foot by 8-foot table. That is going to go right here. Not so much here, but right here. So this is my plan, since all of the machinery that is going to require ventilation is going to be on this side. The plan was to run a spiral duct horizontal all the way across this wall. I would have a T somewhere in the middle that would shoot up into the attic space of the shop, and then it would have an inline duct fan, and then I would cut a hole in the gable of the shop to ventilate it outside with hopefully some filtration in there too. I don't want to just send out crap into the atmosphere. And then over at each machine, I will have a drop coming off of that main line. I'll have a drop. Wherever I need a drop for any kind of exhaust, that was the plan. Now, that plan's pretty invasive. I got to drill holes in the ceiling, drill holes in the outside of the building, put vents in, get all kinds of expensive spiral duct, and still have an inline duct fan. So this solution would be a much less intrusive way to install some kind of a ventilation system for your shop, or maybe your garage, or maybe your basement, or shed, or the bed of your truck, wherever the hell you're doing it. So we have two systems here. This one is kind of insane. I just kind of started looking at it. I have not yet hooked it up. I have no idea how to work it, but it has some really cool features. We'll go over here in just a minute. And I want to kind of briefly go through them because I actually have some stuff I got to do for the apparel, and I want to put these things to work and get all this done today. So this unit is called the SafetyPro AP2, and this one's called the SafetyPro IF2. Inline fan, maybe, and this one's air purifier 2. Oh, that's what it is. AP2 is probably for air purifier 2, and this one's IF2 for inline fan 2. Just an educated guess, but I think I'm right. So this is everything for the IF2, the inline system. You have the main unit, which is the actual fan. You've got a little bracket to mount it. You've got your power supply with some of your different control settings on it. You've got some ducting right here, some different adapters that go on there, some mounting hardware, looks like some kind of a key or maybe like a Bluetooth module. We'll figure that out here in a second. Hose clamp, manual, and that's really it for that one. Now for the SafetyPro AP2, this thing's kind of crazy. You've got your power cord, ducting tube here, and some other adapters, but check this out. You grab this little tab, very nice, pull it off. This is magnetic. This is like a really nice quality piece of acrylic or like a plexiglass, I guess, tinted, and it's got magnets built into it. And once you pull that off, you have all these different filters in here, and they're labeled 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this thing's on wheels, so I gotta make sure it doesn't come off the table. I gotta pull all the plastic off, but you grab these things and you pull them out, and you can see we got some filter media there, and it's just like different stages, it looks like. Oh boy, almost lost it. So this looks pretty impressive. I'm excited to see how this thing operates. I'm guessing that this little key looking thing plugs into the laser, and that's what communicates with the actual purifier. This one doesn't have any filtration on it, so this must just be something that will duct the exhaust out the window or something, which I'm really not quite set up for that. This one's got a lot more crap with it. What am I gonna do with this? So for today, what I wanna do before I can sell these, I wanna test out the new air purifier from XTool, because it looks pretty badass. And what I wanna do is make leather machine keychains. I've made them before and I was giving them away when I was selling the hats. I'm out of them. I need to make some more because I'm gonna throw one of them in this bag as well for you, whether you buy a t-shirt or a hoodie. And it's gonna be a really good test for that air purifier because that leather freaking stinks when you engrave on it. And we're probably gonna use the new xTool P2S to do that. So stay tuned, I will have more information on the shirts. I have a small batch that I had made. I got different sizes in both the hoodies and the t-shirts. But if everything goes well, I'll be doing a larger batch coming up after this. And the website's getting very close. So I'm gonna do some reading. We're gonna start with the AP2 first. I'm gonna figure out how to use this thing, get it hooked up, and try it out. So here's the main housing after I pulled all the filters out, and then down inside there you can kind of see a little bit of a grill, and that is where the impeller is for the fan. So it's drawing air in from this back up top. It goes through all of the filters down through the bottom, and then exhausts out of this lower one right here. So check these filters out. This is insane. This is 0. This is the one at the top. This is where all the air is coming in. Goes through our first filter, which is the pre-filter. Second filter, which is the HEPA filter. Third filter, which is the activated carbon filter. Fourth filter, it's got a different kind of media in there. That is the carbon and HEPA filter. And then your last filter, number 5, which is the ultra HEPA filter. You gotta stay away from that HEPA, it's pretty bad. Pretty impressive setup. Let's get it hooked up. All right, I have this thing hooked up. I have the ventilation tube with one of the adapters hooked up, and this is going into the new P2S. I just did a review on this last week maybe. And I have the power supply cord plugged in, turned on when it's lit up. I took that little key, you can see it right here. That's plugged into one of the mini USB accessory ports on the back of the P2S. So that's it for hooking this up. Now you can see right here on the display, it's showing that we have power. We're gonna turn it on. And I can hear the fan kick on right away. You feel air blowing out of there. And it looks like we could turn up the fan power. Oh yeah, she's pumping some air. And if we hit auto, it shuts off. So what should happen is when we start using the P2S, it should say, hey, we need air purification. It should turn that on automatically, and then it'll probably cycle for a certain amount of time after it's done engraving. This will keep running for a little bit and then it'll shut off. So we'll give it a rip and see what happens. All right, I got this thing turned on. I got my leather in there. I already put the Resolene on this. I'm gonna try something a little bit different this time, see if that works better. Once I got this thing turned on, I noticed that we got another blue light here, which looks like the Bluetooth connection. So looks like it's already hooked up to the P2S and connected. So far, pretty easy setup. All right, I got a test grid ready to go for the leather. Just need to close the lid. So the AP2 is not running at all. You've got the auto light on, power light on, and the Bluetooth enabled light on. So I think we are good to go as far as that goes. So I'm just gonna hit start. Once I hit the start button, this thing should turn on. We will see. Oh yeah, she's running. That's awesome. Put my microphone down there. It's a little bit noisy, but that's with the CO2 running. There's a built-in chiller in that thing. And then you have a pretty serious air filtration system. It's really not bad. I mean, you can still talk normal in here, but it is producing some noise. And I will say, the leather absolutely stinks. So if this thing can engrave that leather and I don't smell anything, that's pretty damn impressive. You can see that smoke just puffing and going right into that exhaust system. Now, if you didn't see my latest video on this new P2S, this has an upgraded exhaust system in it as well. So between that and the air purifier, there's some serious sucking and blowing going on. Hopefully. All right, the P2S just finished up with that test grid on that leather. The new AP2 air purifier, it shut off automatically. It kind of ran for a little bit longer just to continue to get the rest of the smoke and residual out of the P2S, and then it shut off on its own. That is pretty nice, because if you're working and doing things and the thing just keeps on running, you forget to shut it off. It's nice to just do it on its own automatically. So I do like that feature. We'll check out this test grid here. Looks like it cut it out nicely. Let's throw this on the table here. Looks pretty good. I ended up shutting all these off because I knew it would burn through, kind of like that one. There might have been a couple more in here that would have not burned through. I'd say this turned out pretty good. I've got some good engravings in here. I can definitely use one of those for the machine keychains, which I want to get set up next. So I'm going to get all that set up on XTool Creative Space and get as many machine keychains as I possibly can out of this piece of leather. And then we're going to try the S1 real quick and see how that works with it. There's a slight haze over there. It's surprising. It is smoky in there. I mean, that's a lot of smoke. All right, all of the machine keychains just finished up. There they are, looking pretty good. This is always my favorite part right here. Let's see if we can get it to do it. Oh, maybe. I have a feeling some of them are gonna stick. Well, that didn't go as planned. Perfect, I love it. And I will say there is a smoky haze in the shop. You may not be able to see it on video, but there is a slight haze in here, and I can smell the burnt leather. In all reality, that thing should still be vented outside. I would have to say that the main idea is to just purify that air before you're just spitting all that junk out into the atmosphere. But with most materials, you could still get away with using it inside and not have the smoke. If I didn't have that, it would be completely filled in here. I wouldn't even be able to see. Otherwise, I can get all of these leather keychains cleaned up and get the keychain rings on them. But next thing I want to do is we're going to test out another tumbler. We're going to do this on the S1 because I still have one more tumbler left to engrave for the Lone Star Hawaiian for his dad, the Sarge, that's what they call him. So I want to get this wrapped up and kind of see how the filtration system does with this. But even before that, I want to see what these filters look like after running that leather through. That was an hour straight of nasty, smoky leather. And let me show you this. On the P2S, you can see the new magnetic strips here for the ventilation. I mean, look how clogged those are. So I definitely need to go through and clean this up, but the fact that they're magnetic makes it really easy. I'll get these things all cleaned up, otherwise you're not going to get that full exhaust. The upper one was the same way. Okay, Cyclone. I don't know what the hell's in the Cyclone. Let's look at the first filter. I see one dirty spot right here. Pretty clean on the backside, actually really clean on the backside. I don't see anything on the second filter. Uh-oh, it's saying there's an alarm. So it actually sensed that one of these wasn't in all the way and it gave me a little alert right there. Damn it! Turning out to be one of those days, you know, where everything pisses you off. What was I just doing? Oh, why isn't this? Why isn't this connecting? I don't understand. For some reason, the new AP2 is not working with the S1. Fortunately, you can still use it in manual mode, so you can just turn the fan on manually. It's not a big deal at all. A very good chance that I'm doing something wrong. But I've tried turning it on and off, cycling the power, plugging in that little Bluetooth key in and out of it. I don't know what's going on. Might be due for a firmware upgrade that will now communicate with this AP2. I don't know. Either way, it doesn't matter. I can still use it in manual mode. We are engraving the last tumbler for Lone Star Hawaiian for his dad, the Sarge. And we have, I don't know how much time left. So we'll get that wrapped up and cleaned up. And then over here, I've got all of these machine keychains cleaned up, and I've got some Resin on them. I put it on before I engraved it, and I threw some on after I cleaned it too. What I like to do is take these things and I kind of pinch them, and then you can see that leather, the color come out of the leather a little bit. So I'll go through and I'll kind of work them all just to get some of that color to come out of them, and then I'll throw the keychain ring in there. Should look pretty good. Those will come free with the hoodies and the t-shirts. All right, let's check this thing out. I know we just did this a couple of days ago. That looks pretty good. I used the masking tape to mark the centers so I could line my crosshairs. I found that works pretty good. Okay, got to clean it up still. Sarge. I was going to put the in the corner like in cursive, but I thought it looked kind of stupid, so I just went with Sarge. Simple green. Get the majority of it off with the microfiber. Oh yeah, that's looking real good. Another clean engraving right there. All right, I'll finish all this crap up in a little bit. You can see while that was engraving, I was working on kind of bringing some of the color out of that leather. So these turned out really nice. Very happy with them. Now, I know we didn't talk much about the inline version of this. This is just a typical inline exhaust fan with the nice function of the automatic control on it. The automatic control is the big deal with this, where the thing is just not constantly running all the time. You don't have to turn it on and off manually. It works just like the air assist. You plug that thing into the USB on the back of the engraver, and it's all automatic. As soon as you start that engraving, whether you're engraving or you're cutting, it automatically knows what setting to put it on, and it starts it up and it shuts it off. Same thing with these two exhaust air purification options. So unfortunately, the video is just going to get too long if I go into like a lot of detail and start doing projects with both of these things. I personally don't have as much use for this as I do for that, but this is still a really nice option if you just want to vent this thing right out the window and not have to worry about, you know, I already talked about it. What the hell is this thing? Switch to Lark? What the hell is a Lark? Oh. So XTool is offering some early bird specials and some loyal customer specials. There's some different pricings. That's all going to be included on their website, I'm sure. But the base pricing on the AP2 is going to be $999, and the IF2 is going to be $179. But like I said, there will be some better pricing on their website, depending on if you're new to XTool or if you're packaging it with another laser, or just check it out. I was still getting freaking smoke coming out of that damn thing with the leather. I don't freaking know. Was I doing something wrong? It's sucking it in and it's blowing it out. The only way to do it is to go through those filters. So some of the key features on the AP2, it's got the 6 layers for more efficiency with the filtration. Definitely important, especially in a small space. It has enhanced dust and odor removal. I will be trying some other materials with it as I use the lasers. I would say that this will be the new go-to air filtration, so the testing will continue on. The claim is that this can achieve 99.99 efficiency rating as far as air filtration. Something like this may be more cost effective than the others. The filters are supposed to have 10 times the lifespan, and you just replace them as needed. And the filter management on this thing could not get any easier. I mean, you literally grab a handle, it's labeled, it's numbered, you just yank it out and you replace it. It's pretty damn easy. It's so easy, a mongoose could do it. Obviously, the auto feature is very convenient, and it has a smart airflow technology in it, so you can actually go in the settings and adjust the airflow so you can make it more powerful or less, probably depending on what materials. Anyways, that's all I've got for this one. Again, we will be doing more testing with the AP2 and hopefully try out the IF2 as well. I will have links in the description. Like I said, they're going to be offering some deals on this stuff. I would definitely recommend this over the original air purifiers, even though these things are freaking sweet too. I mean, I haven't had any issues with them. So if you're in a bind, you don't have an exhaust system set up yet, this is a great solution. It's just plug and play. Pretty easy. And I'll have some discount links in the description too for the XTool stuff. Of course, the new P2S, the thing's freaking badass. S1, definitely my favorite, and I need to spend some more time on the F1. I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Made some progress. You know, we're figuring things out. Machine. If you are interested in a t-shirt or a hoodie, email me. I'll put you on the list. I have a couple more things to get ready. Yeah. Very comfy if you have sensitive areolas. I don't. Mine are tethered pretty good, but if you do, this is the shirt. So I just got some really cool things for the shop that I think are going to... I hate thinking of words. Machine.